What's up, A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live for the first time in 2022. Hope everybody is having a good Sunday, whether you're in Nashville, if you're headed to Nissan Stadium, or watching it from wherever you're at. Glad to have you guys along. We're going to have a fantastic season of Titan Game Day Live this year with our new setup. So we always do pregame, halftime, and postgame shows for every Titans game, and the pregame show will always start 30 minutes prior to kickoff, and with the Titans kicking off today at 3:25 Central Time, we are now live for our Titan Game Day Live pregame show, and we got a bunch of new sponsors for this season. We're pretty pumped up about that, Zach. I'll talk about our sponsors here in a second, but it's a new look. It's a new era for A to Z Sports here with our new setup, but yeah, no longer out and about, but here in the comfort of our own home, but looks a little different. Here's Zach. Welcome in.
Yeah, no, excited about this new setup. It's a little bit like mano-a-mano, but the best part is that we've got the chat rocking and rolling as more people are piling in, getting ready for Titans to host the New York Football Giants. But yeah, I'm excited about this new look. It's a new feel. It's a new season. It's a new era. As I've been watching A.J. Brown be the same guy in an Eagles jersey, the Titans got new faces, and we're going to find out what this offense can do today against New York. I am pumped up. I got that blood flowing heading into the first game of the season. I'm excited to talk football. I'm excited to talk about what has been going on in the early games, and then how the Titans can set the tone. Can Mike Vrabel, the previous coach of the year last season, he comes in here with a lot of pressure with his offense, a lot of expectation. We're going to break it down for you, and we're going to get this chat involved.
Yes, we are, but let's get it going officially. Welcome into the Titan Game Day Live pregame show presented by the No-dat app. This is the No-dat app pregame show powered by No-dat. You need to download the No-dat app and discover your city on your own terms. No-dat makes it easy to connect with local businesses and events that matter to you, so you never have that FOMO feeling. The link to download the app is in the description of both Facebook and YouTube right there. Also presented by Mr. Goodroof, your locally owned roofing, gutters, and window specialist. Buddy Allen Carpet One. Check them out at BuddyAllenCarpet1Nashville.com. Crumble cookies made fresh daily with over 175 flavors. Hit up that Crumble cookie app right there. And then our friends at BetMGM, download the BetMGM app and use our code ATOZ Sports for risk-free bet up to $1,000 with your first bet with BetMGM. So Zach, Marcus Mariota looks good. The Colts look shaky, even though they've tied it. A.J. Brown looks great after letting an early fourth down pass ball go through his hands. But the Titans, it's all about them today hosting the New York Giants. And a couple of guys have big revenge tour that are kicking off this afternoon in Nissan Stadium.
Yeah, well, I think it starts with Ryan Tannehill. The last time he was at Nissan Stadium, we all know how that went down. First pass, interception. Last pass, interception. And that was a costly one in the divisional round of the playoffs where they had the number one seed in the AFC. They had the opportunity to have the road go through Nashville. Well, that was then. This is now. Ryan Tannehill has had a spectacular, I don't use that word very often, but a spectacular training camp. Derrick Henry, the hair may be flowing, right? I mean, it's a new feel for this team. There's a lot of new faces, including Austin Hooper and also Treylon Burks, Robert Woods. The list goes on and on. Austin, man, have we talked months and months and months about this team? And now here's where the rubber meets the road, as they say. We're going to find out when they actually, strap them up and hit somebody. And this defense can be unbelievable. It has the pieces. Yes, they're going to miss Harold Landry with his ACL tear for the full season, but you still got Big Jeff. You still got Bud Dupree. I'm excited to see Zach Cunningham and David Long Jr., and then obviously Kevin Byard and Monty Hooker just got that big deal. And then the corners, who's going to show out and who's going to show up. So a lot of storylines leading up to this particular season in this particular game. I'm pumped, but Ryan Tannehill's got to come out here and set the tone early in the passing game with a lot of new wide receivers and a new tight end.
Yeah, and it's not going to be easy because I don't know if you've been outside Nashville today. Sometimes it's been sunny and wet. And other times it's just been flat out wet and pouring down rain. And I saw Sam Phelan and Buck Rising there at Nissan Stadium today reporting for A to Z Sports. Sam is soaked It's his first regular season game for the Titans, covering it at Nissan Stadium, and he's soaking wet out there. So it'll be interesting to see what the weather does for this matchup and for Ryan Tannehill, because Zach, we talked a lot about in the preseason, like we haven't seen Ryan Tannehill throw a pass in a game in Nissan Stadium or anywhere really that's mattered since January 22nd. And so one of my things, and I kind of thought the fact that that Tannehill could have used a series or something in the preseason to get that out of his mind, to be able to come in and play free, because last week one, it was ugly as it could be. The Titans got shellacked by the Cardinals. Tannehill and the offense had a bunch of turnovers. They gave up 6 sacks, and it was bad from the beginning. They can't afford for that to happen today. The Giants are one of those teams they have to beat this season because they're playing such a difficult schedule, and the rain is an equalizer, and so are mistakes and turnovers. They can't allow for turnovers to help join the rain and mess up this game for them.
Well, 2 really good running backs. Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley are premier bell cow backs. And you don't see that often in the NFL anymore, where they hitch their wagon to one guy. And so who's going to be outdueled, right? I mean, we've seen, Jonathan Taylor's coming on a little bit stronger than they did in the first half. That game is tied up. The Colts have the football with about a minute to go. That's something that the Titans fans are watching, right? What's going to happen there? That we talked about that running back battle all offseason, but you've got Saquon Barkley that stirs the Giants' drinks. There's a lot of question marks about Daniel Jones and Derrick Henry. His first game since missing a lot of time. Can he come back and be that 2,000-yard type rusher that we all know and love? Can he still be the king? I think he can. I think a lot of people think he can, but he's going to have to show it starting week 1 and building on the momentum throughout the course of the season and staying healthy.
No doubt. A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live in the pregame show.
You say no-dat or no doubt?
No doubt. I said no doubt. There's going to be a lot of play on words in this pregame show, because this segment that we're about to do for the first time this season is something that we're really excited about, because we're very excited to partner with the No-dat app. Erica, who's a Nashville native, and her family's massive Titans fans, we're really pumped about. She founded the No-dat app, and it's a really cool story. So you need to download the No-dat app. It's in the description, the link to click the download in the description on our YouTube and our Facebook right there. So you can go check that out. But don't be the last to know that. How this happened is that Erica's son came up and said, "Mom, we missed this cool event in town." And she's like, "How did you know that?" And he said, "Because my friends told me that." And so she developed this app because she and her son missed out on an event near them that they would have had a lot of fun doing. So now you never have to have that FOMO feeling. No-dat makes it easy to connect with the local businesses and events that matter to you. Discover your city on your terms. It goes about your searches. So it's truly what you're interested in, not what advertisers want to shove in your face. So the No-dat app, give it a download. It's really cool. I downloaded it this morning to play around with it via the link that's in the description of this video. And I found an event that's coming up next month that I'm absolutely interested in, and I had no idea that it was coming to Nashville. So download the No-dat app today, right there with A to Z Sports, the No-dat segment. Here it is, Zach. What do you know that the Titans will do well today? What do you know that the Titans will do well today? I'll let you kick this thing off.
Yeah, well, what do I know that? I think I'm going to start with the number one thing that I do know that. And I think the Titans defense is better than Daniel Jones. I think that the Titans defense should have a field day today. Getting to Danny Dimes, getting to the backfield. He is notorious for struggling to hold on to the football in the pocket. I expect some strip sacks today. That's what I know that. I think that Daniel Jones, is going to fumble the football today. I think that the edge rushers, they got pressure on them because of Harold Landry's absence, as we talked about. But Jeffrey Simmons is primed for, I think, one of his biggest years to date to earn that contract that he didn't have. Knock, knock, Lamar Jackson's in the same boat. But that's what I know that. I think that this defensive pass rush, this front four, including Weaver. Rashad Weaver, I'm really excited about the opportunity that he's going to get. But I'm looking at what I know that Titans defensive line versus Daniel Jones. I'll take the Titans D-line any day of the week. They got to get after him.
All right. Let's see some more defending the Giants pass game that the Titans will do well. Jabu says run the ball. What do you know that the Titans will do well? Download the No-dat app today. The link in the description of the video on Facebook and YouTube. Adam says Titans for 3+ turnovers. Is that forcing 3+ turnovers or giving up 3+ turnovers? That wouldn't be good. And then let's see. Mark says, I know the Titans are going to pick off Danny Dimes for the Giants quarterback. So continue to comment what you know. The Titans will do well today here on the show. Their Titans pregame show presented by the No-dat app. Zach, I'm going to go in a different direction because now we know for sure that Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari, two of the Giants' better edge rushers, are out of this game. But I know that doesn't mean this is going to be a lot easier on the Titans offensive line. In fact, I kind of have a feeling that because Thibodeau and Ojulari are not in, Wink Martindale, who is very creative already, is going to be forced to be even more creative with what he's going to do against the Titans offensive front. So you focus on the Titans defensive front. I'm focusing on the Titans offensive front. I know that NPF is going to have some struggles with what the Giants are going to do. Ryan Tannehill is probably going to get sacked 3 or 4 times, especially with the weather, and who knows what the weather is going to be. But I feel like Wink Martindale and the Giants defensive front is going to be so chaotic and come from a bunch of different directions because they just don't have their guys in Thibodeau and Ojulari that can pin their ears back and go win one-on-one matchups. They have to create more pressure on Ryan Tannehill, but that also means the Titans could have opportunities to beat that pressure with one-on-one matchups on the outside. So now we get to learn a lot about what will happen when it comes to who's going to really thrive in the passing game with all these new faces.
Yeah, you said the word chaotic.
Yes.
Well, we got chaos in the NFL because, tied the Bengals. This has to do with the Titans. The Bengals and Steelers are tied at 20 apiece. Steelers just blocked a field goal. The Panthers are trying to beat the Browns late in that game. You've got the Colts and the Texans still tied at 20 at the end of regulation. That thing's going to overtime. And an old soul and a known commodity in Marcus Mariota is trying to win for the Falcons. This is high drama week 1. This is why the NFL is so exciting and that we love it so much. And the Titans game hadn't even kicked off yet.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said. I think both points that we've made on our No-dat segment are valid. I think that the chat brought up some good points as well. This game overall, what I think Titans fans know that the Titans are a better football team than the New York Giants.
Yeah.
They need to go in there and they need to take care of business like the Eagles did to the Lions. Hard Knocks is a feel-good story, but the fact of the matter is that the Lions are trash. And the Eagles went in there.
The Lions are they just scored again. So it's 38-35.
But they're still taking care of business.
Yes. There's still
Here's a better analogy. The Jets are trash and the Ravens took care of business. So I think for what Tennessee needs to do, I think they really can set a tone for all the people around the NFL, especially what the Colts have not done. I don't know how that game's going to turn out, but the Titans are a better team than the Giants. They got to show that today.
Well, if you look around the NFL, I mean, the Colts and Texans are now going into overtime tied at 20. It took 17 fourth-quarter points for the Colts to force overtime. The Panthers and Browns, a 1-point game. Jags, Commanders, 2-point game. Eagles, Lions, 3-point game. There's another overtime game going to the Steelers and Bengals. And then there's another 1-point game with the Saints and Falcons. So that Ravens-Jets game is the only thing that's not a 1, 2, 3-point or tied football game. So bring it on, NFL. This thing's back.
Let's go to the chat because Brandon brings up this. I want to see an improved Tannehill. I think Brandon is like a lot of Titans fans.
Yeah.
I think they don't want to see the Tannehill from last season. They want to see Tannehill from 2020. Can he do that? Do you think can he show and have that type of season? Because that was a stellar offensive, productive season. granted, Derrick Henry was a 2,000-yard rusher, right? I mean, but can Brandon feel what he wants to feel and see an improved Ryan Tannehill?
Today, the weather is such a weird thing today, because the last time the Titans played in a really nasty weather, bad rain game, that was when Ryan Tannehill had 4 interceptions against the Houston Texans. Now, Des Fitzpatrick caused 2 of those interceptions, and I don't know if the rain had impact, but it was an ugly game, right? And I am bracing myself for an ugly football game today with the Titans and the Giants, just because of what the weather is going to be like. How does the field hold up and all that? Now, it's the first game of the season. There hasn't been anybody active on that field in over 2 weeks since the last preseason game. I mean, I don't know what to expect from Ryan Tannehill today. There's a lot. I don't know what to expect from Saquon Barkley either, because if a Giants fan's watching this, they haven't seen a good Saquon Barkley in 2 full seasons.
No, they haven't. And you speak about Ryan Tannehill. Frank brings up that he wants to see the playbook open up a little bit. What's the impact of the passing coordinator, Tim Kelly, in which the media can't talk to him, but Tim Kelly can talk to Todd Downing, and Todd Downing's calling the plays? That, I think, that will make a huge difference if Tim Kelly can have an impact on Ryan Tannehill's improved performance, if that does go down the way that we think it could.
Yeah. Now, Matt Drew says it's not even raining right now. And maybe that's not the case. I do know about 45 minutes ago, there was a downpour there at Nissan Stadium. So we'll kind of see what the rain does throughout the entirety of today's game between the Titans and the Giants. So we've done our No-dat segment, guys. We have another fun segment when it comes to our Titans pregame show, and that is Who's Got the Good Matchup? And that is presented by Mr. Goodroof. Who's got the good matchup today? Who's got the goods? I have a really, really strong opinion on this, on who I think has a really solid matchup today for the Titans. But Mr. Goodroof they specialize in roofing, gutters, and windows and more. Fully insured, licensed, and bonded. Have a stellar A+ star rating on the Better Business Bureau, locally owned and operated in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Very involved in the community. Members of the Hendersonville, Madison, and Gallatin Chamber of Commerce donate to schools, and they give away a free roof every year during the holidays. But they also know how to help you guys out. So whenever you need roofing specialists or window specialists, Mr. Goodroof is where to go. Storms happen, especially like a day today in Middle Tennessee. So whenever a storm happens, you want to make sure you check out that roof and make sure things are okay, especially if you don't even know how old your roof is. And beware of those door knockers because you never know if they're trying to take advantage of you. But check out MrGoodroof.com or 615-824-8100. Simply MrGoodroof.com. So, Zach, the good matchup today. I see some comments. I'll let you go to the comment section before I tell you how I feel really strong about one particular matchup for the Titans.
Steven says Tannehill versus the defensive backs of the New York Giants. Aaron goes offensive line versus D-line. I don't know specifically who he's talking about. I would assume he's saying Titans offensive line maybe versus the Giants D-line because of those injuries that you talked about earlier. Jeff brings up the Titans wide receivers versus the Giants corners. And that's a matchup to look at. Big Jeff versus the O-line. Mark says these are some good matchups as you know, and Eric comes in with the Titans line versus the Giants front. This is a trench battle, as they say, right? Because you got 2 really good running backs that can set the tone. And those running backs, and this is the case for both teams, the running backs help the quarterback more than the quarterback helps the running back. That's just how these football teams are designed, how the makeups of the franchises have kind of set the thing up with the draft picks of Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. So that's we've got some good matchups with a great sponsor in Mr. Goodroof. Austin, what's yours?
I think Austin Hooper has a big day today.
That's funny you said that. I just want to say this. I had a free $5 bet from BetMGM, another sponsor of this show. We love BetMGM. First to score plus 1,200, $5. Give me Austin Hooper. I sprinkled that. A little salt, a little bay salt on first to score. I like that.
I think Austin Hooper, I'll say this. I was going to save it for later, but I'll go ahead and say I took Austin Hooper over 23.5 receiving yards at BetMGM earlier this morning, too. I like that a lot. I think Austin Hooper is going to have a nice day. I think he probably doubles that 23.5. I think really, especially with the Giants' tendency to blitz and get after the quarterback, Ryan Tannehill has to trust where his outlet option is. And it feels weird to say it because he's a newcomer, but Ryan Tannehill probably has the strongest relationship in this passing game with Austin Hooper because of all the work they took and put in over the spring and the summer. And just whenever I was watching a training camp practice and there was a 2-minute drive situation that Mike Vrabel dialed up in a practice setting, and Tannehill had to have a completion, he went to 81. He went to Austin Hooper. And there was I believe it was the first joint practice day against the New England Patriots. Austin Hooper had 9 targets in their scrimmage sessions there, and he caught 8 passes on those 9 targets. And the only time he didn't catch it, he slipped. And so I think Austin Hooper is going to have a really big day today. And I really think that that's going to help out Ryan Tannehill quite a bit with a blitzing defense like the Giants because he can get open quick. It's not going to be down the field all the time, but it's that quick turnaround 5 yards down the field, catch it and turn up field and gain a few more and fall down for nearly a first down. I think Austin Hooper has a big day today.
I got to put it in. I'm putting it in on BetMGM right now. Plus I got an odds boost to make that minus 112 up to plus 108. I just got to think of how much money I'm going to put down on there. The max bet is 100. I'm doing it.
Don't do 100 because now if you do 100, you're going to jinx my bet. And I don't need that.
I'll do 50. I'll split it.
That's fine. I don't need that because Florida screwed me over yesterday in college football. So I need this, Zach.
There you go. Bet is placed on BetMGM. $50. I split it. Austin Hooper over 22.5 receiving yards. Got that boost from BetMGM.
There you go.
I like that. You didn't have to talk me into it that much. I like it. I think I think to go off of that, one of the most exciting things about this season to come I think what Titans fans should be a little geeked up for is, can Treylon Burks be a game wrecker?
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's
AJ Brown's a game wrecker. We know that. It's solidified. The guy's got over $150 in the first game. He had like 140, 130 something in the first half. Can Treylon Burks be that? That would be unbelievable.
Well, I mean, AJ Brown's a fourth-year player, so
right.
AJ had a couple big plays in his first overall game, and against the Browns back then. I think it was like two or three catches for 90 yards against the Browns in his season or career debut. But we talked about this Friday, Zach. We got 7 minutes before kickoff here on our Titan pregame show presented by the No-dat app. So we asked this on Friday, and we said we would save it for today. Who leads the Titans in receiving yards today? I like Austin Hooper to go over 23.5. I don't know if that's going to have him lead the team in receiving yards, though. But who leads the Titans in receiving yards? Because there could easily be 5 options, right? Like NWI is the only guy left from last year, right? So it wouldn't be crazy if he did. Robert Woods.
Yeah, it would be crazy if he did.
It
would be insane if NWI is the leading receiver today. That would not be good.
He could easily have a 40-yard catch. You never know that boosts his numbers overall. And it's a rainy day, right? There's Robert Woods, who's never played with this team. There's Treylon Burks, newcomer, Austin Hooper, newcomer, Kyle Phillips, newcomer, and NWI, who's been around. I honestly don't know who's going to lead the team in receiving yards.
I think it has to be Burks, and I think because of his big playability.
Well, then you should go double down and go over his total too at BetMGM because it's just a couple yards more than Hooper.
Yeah, well, why I bet Hooper is because of what we've seen in training camp and that relationship and the connection. I don't want to bet on a questionable offense that we don't really understand and know, and on a rookie. That's not a good professional smart bet. Look,
no, it's not.
We're all for BetMGM, but bet smart, intelligently, right? Like that's why you don't put $50 on Austin Hooper to catch the first touchdown at plus 1,200. You bet 5. So I think the answer is Burks as far as the most, But I think you're going to see Hooper get his play maybe early on, maybe move some chains, right? Get a third down and move the sticks. That's kind of what I'm looking for and what I expect.
All right, well, it's 5 minutes to go. Let's go ahead and get our predictions in there. It is prediction time presented by BetMGM here on our Titan Game Day Live pregame show. Right now, the line has stayed pretty consistent, Zach, throughout the entire week. Titans -5.5. What is your prediction on the game? Do the Titans win? Do they cover? Do you have a prop bet? Let us know. What is your prediction? And we do score predictions on this Titans pregame show if you don't remember from the years past. But download the BetMGM app today and use our code ATOZ Sports. You get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 with your first bet on pro football. There's a lot of things happening on today, so make sure you do that. Use our code ATOZ Sports for a risk-free bet up to $1,000 on pro football with your first bet with the BetMGM app. So, Zach, I'll send you to the chat when it comes to the people's predictions, and then we'll get ours out there.
Mark Jones blanket statement right here with 35-0. He also has Derrick Henry avatar. And Mark watched the show quite a bit. So a little bias there. 35-0 would be impressive. Titans Cowboys 24-10, 38-13 from Derrick, 27-17 Titans from Manny. Eric says 24-17, 27-14 Titans from Guy. Carlos says 28-10. Facebook user, which may be, Mark Zuckerberg's burner account. We haven't figured that out.
Facebook user's been around for a couple weeks now.
But we don't know who it is.
We have no idea who it is.
21-13 from Facebook user, 34-17 from Rooney. You've got Robbie says 24-15, Drew 27-17, 24-13 from Top Tier, 27-13 from Josh Bowman. And Josh is close to mine. I'll just go ahead and say, I think this is a 24-13 game. I think the Titans win by 10 or 11 points. I don't think it is as high scoring. We talked about your one game prop bet, or four-leg parlay on BetMGM under 27.5. I do think that the rain, look at the 49ers Bears game, right? That was a lot lower scoring than it probably would have been in San Francisco because of that rain. Now, that was a monsoon. It looks like the weather, it's going to rain early and then clear up for the majority of the game and maybe rain at the end. And hell, a lot of games are going into overtime, so we don't know. But that's my prediction. I go 24-13. The Titans cover the 5.5 point spread and win this football game.
All right, guys, here we go. I say 23-17 Titans win. I do think they cover. I think the Giants keep it somewhat close. It's going to be closer than any of us want it to be if you're a Titans bettor or a Titans fan. But I do think 23-17 is my overall prediction here. I don't know if the Titans can get in the end zone, right? I feel like Randy Bullock is going to be relied upon a lot. That's one guy we haven't talked about one time in our 28-minute plus pregame show so far today. So I think it's a big, fat Randy Day, who has been very good throughout training camp and preseason with a new holder in Ryan Stonehouse. So I'm going to say a big Randy Bullock day. The Titans win 23-17.
Quick update, speaking of holder, high snap for the Bengals. McPherson misses that. That's still in overtime. AFC South, the Jags lose to the Commanders in Washington. And still 20-20, but the Colts are driving as Matty Ice trying to lead his team to the first victory in an Indianapolis Colts uniform. Still 20-20 in overtime, but the Colts are in field goal range. So a lot of things to watch as things come to the conclusion of today. I got bets in that really affect what's going on there on BetMGM. But coming down to the wire, I'm really excited for this football season, Austin. There's a lot of question marks for the Tennessee Titans. I think they should beat the Giants. You think that they should beat the Giants. I think the entire chat thinks that way. They got to go out and show out.
Yeah, and Deontay Johnson just made a stupid catch on the sideline. For anybody who saw that for the Steelers, a one-handed, it was like Odell's catch in the end zone years ago, but it was on the sideline. They had to see if he got his feet in, but the dude snagged it. So, yeah, pretty ridiculous there. All right, guys. Well, it is time for Titans Giants. We'll be right here for our halftime show. Again, we got a lot of great stuff going on with Titan Game Day Live. Today, the No-dat pregame show. Download the No-dat app and discover your city in your terms. Click on the link. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right there. If you're watching on Facebook, click on that link. Download the No-dat app for us if you would. Also, thanks to Mr. Goodroof, your locally owned roofing, gutter, and window specialist. Buddy Allen Carpet One at BuddyAllenCarpet1Nashville.com. Download the Crumble Cookie app and also BetMGM. And we'll see you guys at halftime. Thanks for watching. See you here in about an hour and a half.